Hey, my name is Waylon Lewis. I'm the editor-in-chief of Elephant Journal, and we often at Elephant cover everything, right? We cover family, we cover climate crisis, we cover awful wars, we cover plastic pollution, we cover, diet, yoga, meditation. We call it the mindful life. So literally, we'll cover anything. And often our readers, even readers for many years, particularly on Instagram or TikTok or Facebook, any one of the platforms, will read dozens of articles, maybe even subscribe, but not realize something really simple. Because we get a lot of comments saying the same thing, which is beautiful but mistaken. And that thing is, why are you not covering this? Why do you think this? I'm mad at you because you believe this. Now, Elephant is not one voice. There isn't, Oz behind the curtain telling us what we think. I have opinions. I'm the owner. We're independent media. I've refused to sell out for 22 years now for a reason, because we often take controversial stances based on ethics. A couple years into our founding, when we were still a magazine, I put gay rights to marriage on the cover, civil unions at the time. And I always said if I had a board, they wouldn't have let me do that, because as a general interest magazine at the time, that was pretty much unheard of to take that kind of stance. In fact, to the point where when we went to Whole Foods, which was one of our big distributors at the time for magazines, they said, we will not accept this, not because they were homophobic necessarily. I don't believe that they were, but because it was politics. They had a policy that was like nothing too controversial, guns, that kind of thing. This was years before Obama and Biden came out in favor of gay marriage. So, we're always going to take controversial stances based on ethics. Some of those stances will be wrong, some will be right, some will be half right, some will be half wrong. So two things here. Number one, we are not a big one voice. So we are a community. Elephant Journal is a community, not one point of view. So if you ever disagree with us, that's actually welcome. And you're encouraged to comment respectfully, to disagree, to write your own article. And that's number two. Number two is you can write on Elephant. We pay writers once a month. The top writers is chosen by our readers. We get thousands of articles. We can't pay $1 for, 800 of them, and $5 for 50 of them, and, $100 for another 100. And, we can only pay the ones that do well, that connect, that are quality, because we're paying out of subscriptions and out of our limited advertising. And, again, we don't have investors. So we pay what we get in. We don't have huge savings. And this is how we've operated for 22 years. We pay the articles that are adding the most value to the community, whether we agree with them or not. So a lot of comments around, say, Palestine and Israel's oppression and bombardment and murderous policy toward Palestinian civilians, largely women and children, at least 50% children. There's a lot of heat and passion and activism and controversy around that, understandably. We encourage you to write about it, whatever your point of view. We publish articles on it already. We've published videos on it, interviews. Anyone you ever want us to interview, I do most of the interviews, if not all, on our @Walk the Talk Show account. You can tag them in comments and say, hey, Waylon, Walk the Talk Show, you should interview this person, feature them on Elephant. But, the first line is you should write on Elephant. If you disagree or agree or, have a rebuttal, often you'll read something about relationships, say, and you'll say, oh, I agree with this, but actually this is my experience. You can just write that on Elephant. So the link is elephantjournal.com/post. elephantjournal.com/post is how you write. There's also a write button. You can just click it on our front page, etc., on elephantjournal.com. We are a website independent of Instagram, independent of TikTok, etc. So if you want to write, just go to our website. We have millions of readers, and we will platform and share you up, even if we disagree, as long as it's constructive, helpful, accurate, fact-based. We won't put up lies. We won't put up hate. All right. And then there's been some recent changes. For years, we've allowed people to instantly post, just like on Instagram, where you can post yourself, or TikTok or whatever. Google now views that instant posting as spam. So they have penalized Elephant Journal and other websites that allowed instant posting. Ironically, on YouTube, which is owned by Google, on Instagram, on Facebook, on all these social media platforms, you can post automatically. So, but we're not getting that preferential treatment that Google gives to itself. So we've had to remove the instant posting feature. If you want to write on Elephant now, just like in the old days, we're basically like an old-fashioned magazine again, only online. You can go to elephantjournal.com/post. Our editors will get to it in hopefully no more than 5 days, sometimes 7 days, sometimes 3 days. And you can pressure them in a respectful way. We only have 3 full-time editors now because, Facebook particularly has been crushing us for years. But they are wonderful, they are skilled, and they are here for you. So if you want basically like free editing and a free platform to feature your, whether it's permaculture or local activism or eco-fashion, whatever your issue is, Elephant Journal is here for you. And every time you read Elephant, you get our newsletter, you write on Elephant, anything you do with Elephant, hopefully that feeds your mindful path going forward. And, you're keeping independent media, mindful community, one of the last great sites alive and thriving. So I think that's about it for changes. We won't accept every article. If it's hate-filled, if it's super sloppy, you're responsible for typos, not us. We're here to edit, meaning quality editing, not just typos seeking. You can read to a friend. You can find typos yourself. And if it's not fact-based, we won't publish it. But that doesn't mean we hate you. You can always revise it. You can try again. And if you do Elephant Academy, which is our online school, you'll have 2 rounds of edit. So you'll have, more support with our editors. And Elephant Academy is also on Instagram, Elephant.Academy, at Walk the Talk Show, at Waylon Lewis, at Eco Folks is our eco-focused one, and at Elephant Journal, which you're on right now. So if you're a writer on Elephant, yes, you can get paid. You can get followers that'll help you get more reads. Our change with Google now, where we won't have instant posting, will help our SEO come back to health, which will get you more reads. And I wish you all a wonderful day. And please write, share, participate, read. Try to be a benefit in your life and also in your online reading and sharing habits. Big love.